You are listening to the Knightline Sports Network, brought to you by Travis Dever and the Dever team, 386-690-1636.
Welcome to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Night Nation's only call-in show goes live now.
All right, hello Night Nation, hello Orlando. This is Andrew Phegley, and this is Knightline at Night, live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Bar Law, raising the bar on what to expect from your personal injury attorney. Give Chad a call, 407-599-9036 for a free consultation, or visit chadbarlaw.com. You can also call my friend Travis Dever for all your New Smyrna Beach real estate needs, 386-690-1636, or visit thedeverteam.com. We're taking your calls, 844-580-WDBO, 844-580-9326, or you can use the open mic feature in the WDBO app. Once again, I am Andrew Phegley, AP_Knightline on Twitter, or UCF_Knightline on Twitter. Got Big Ben Stout here with me at Big Social 32 on Twitter, and Roger Phipps, a.k.a. Night Bengal, at Night Bengal, from the Santa Rosa Beach studios as well. And he's at Night Bengal on Twitter. A lot of stuff to talk about tonight. We did our podcast last night, and you can find that anywhere you find podcasts, and nightlinesports.com. And we talked a lot about Danny White leaving for Tennessee. Now we're seeing, and I think this is crazy personally, I'm just going to say it right now. Now we're seeing all of a sudden Josh Heupel emerging as the top candidate to replace Jeremy Pruitt, who at Tennessee basically. And I can tell you right now that is complete trash and not true. It's not true. If anybody knows anything about Danny White, and I think the people at UCF and us, I think that we do. I'm telling you right now, and we were talking about this right before we went on, Danny White throws smoke and does all kinds of different things to mask who he's actually hiring, and he'll hire somebody you probably never have heard of.
Yeah.
Or you're not, aware of them in the last 10 years or whatever. I mean, it'll be somebody very random, but a good hire, I'm sure, so.
And that's what he's done with, obviously, the two head coaching football hires that he made at UCF. I mean, it was a lot of misdirection, not even talking about especially
we thought
Josh
it was going to be
Heupel,
Kevin Sumlin the last time. Dino Babers, PJ Fleck. I mean, it was all these people, and then all of a sudden, Josh Heupel and Scott Frost. So.
Yeah, as you said, I mean, he does not make the obvious hires. So I think that some of that reporting is a little bit lazy, saying, oh, yeah, he's coming, he's likes an exciting offensive system. So why not hire Heupel? I just don't see it happening.
I can't wait till we can laugh at these guys for reporting this. Yeah. I just think it's funny. But then again,
I'll eat crow if it does become true.
Then again,
I'll be happy to eat crow.
I think some UCF fans might be happy if Josh Heupel would go.
I think
as
more
well.
than some.
Playing the devil's advocate here, maybe it would give us a fresh start. Maybe it would be a good thing if Heupel would follow.
So here's the one thing. Yeah, maybe is right. Here's the one thing I would say about that, and we
Roger,
talked
jump
about
in
this.
anytime.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about this before the show. Is just the last two times. Well, actually, multiple times, more than just the head football coach hires, but the last times we had to make a major coaching hire at UCF, I have just been kind of comfortable and complacent because I trusted in Danny White. I mean, I said it after Scott Frost left and numerous others of in Danny we trust. And so as long as we had Danny White here, he's going to make the right hire. We know that. And so losing Heupel, if that actually does become true, be careful what you wish for, Night Nation, because not having an AD in place when you lose your head coach like that is a recipe for disaster.
I'm sorry, I wasn't sure if that's what you were going to say or not, but I wanted to make sure it got said. Just a reminder, Josh Heupel is 28-8. here at UCF.
Well, beyond that, guys, I mean, one of the things that's looming is the National Signing Day, right? So we've got National Signing Day coming up. That would not be good for us, especially since we're in the mix for a couple of high-level prospects that we're really high on. So from that perspective, it's never a good thing for your coach, especially your head ball coach, to leave right away. And then how much of his staff does he take with you? What does that do to your recruiting for the rest of this season? So, not just what you guys were mentioned, but just in general, that would be a tough situation for UCF. And I think, if anything, it cuts down the time that President Whitaker has to go find another AD. So, there's some consequences when it comes to that. As far as Josh Heupel in general as a coach, stability is important, and for UCF, we're already somewhat disadvantaged. And then you throw, like you said, Danny White. We all trusted in Danny White. Without him being here, who do we trust to make the right hire? So that's a tough situation for me.
Yeah, I would rather have the AD in place before something like this happened, no matter who it is. At least they would know somebody, one of their buddies or whoever. Most ADs, when they take a job, have a football coach and a basketball coach in tow.
Exactly.
Literally in their pocket. Like, hey, if I get this job, and the chance provides itself, I'm hiring you, so.
Which does make it interesting for a couple of coaches, namely Heupel and Dawkins. Not that I do not think either of them are on the hot seat, but the fans do think for Heupel especially. But Dawkins, I guess this year too. But how much longer in a year of a new AD
can they
get much of a pass? Yeah,
I have a scenario.
Okay. All right.
What does the matchup predictor say about your scenario?
My scenario is we hire Brian White from FAU.
Oh, jeez.
Right? And he brings Willie with him.
Oh, my God.
And nobody can get into the stadium. Not one person.
That would be awful.
Oh, boy.
That would be awful.
That would be horrible.
I'll ask you this.
Willie Taggart, by the way, is who I'm talking about. Used to be the other, yeah.
Nope.
I just thought it would be funny. I'm just trying to rile some people up. You can call us, by the way. I'm trying to rile y'all up, so you'll call 844-580-9326. 844-580-9326. Give us a call. Talk to us about this. Give us your feelings, because I want to know what y'all think about Danny White leaving number one, because it's a big deal.
It's a huge
This
deal.
is a big deal. I think it's bigger, and I'll agree with Mike Bianchi for the first time ever. I will agree about that this is a bigger, kick in the teeth than Scott Frost leaving. I think it's bigger.
Oh, 100%.
I think the operative word you used there was feelings. Everybody's in their feelings. And it's unusual, right, with ADs to get this level of angst around someone leaving. And it's not just about
But we
performance
loved the guy.
Exactly.
Literally,
and
we
was
loved
us.
the guy.
He was young, inspirational.
And we thought he loved us.
Well, I think he still did. I mean, I wouldn't say that,
but
does. Yeah, I think in general, though, I think
there are places that I could go with this that I'm not going.
Oh boy,
I'm gonna bite my tongue as much as I can.
Yeah.
I could go someplace with that. Anyway,
all right.
Just bite your tongue on it. You've already brought up Willie Taggart.
Yeah, just basically say, bite your tongue on Willie Taggart for sure. We don't want that bus ride. Anyway, at this point, like I said, though, I think the fan base really identified with him. The national championship thing endeared him to us. He was young, strategic. He moved us forward, and he knew how to engage. So those are some things that we're going to be looking for in a new AD. And I think you said the right word. I think there was a gut punch, not just because the AD who was successful was leaving, but because it was Danny White and how we identified with him.
As much as the fan base, as much as the national media and in kind of the national perspective loves to put Scott Frost as the face of UCF and their rise to greatness, all UCF and Knight Nation knows is that Danny White has been the face of this program since he's been here, and absolutely he put a stamp on it when he walked in front of that cell phone camera and said national champs after we beat Auburn, and everything that came after it. He is a marketing genius. We can't say enough about him, enough great things about him. He really took us to the next level.
There are some things that I could say that were kind of not the greatest from Danny White. First of all, scheduling. Horrible job at scheduling.
Well, he stuck to his guns on the whole home and home thing.
Right.
And
I understand
sometimes
that
hurt
bit him, though, as well.
Right.
That bit him big time, because if you look at our schedule going forward, it's not great. And then this last year, when we could have replaced some games, that wasn't great. We had some kind of crappy games scheduled anyway before the COVID thing.
I don't know. UNC in the opener would have been
Well, no, that
pretty
would have been
sweet.
great,
Yeah.
but there were some other dates that weren't so great. You know, we were going to play FAMU and FAU and FIU. You know, we don't want to see those teams anymore. We don't want to see those teams.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't about that. It was about mixing it up and giving us some prep work and tune-up teams. It's just like the bigger schools do. But, you know, you pose an interesting question. The next AD, are you guys in favor of keeping that similar scheduling philosophy, or do you think, you know, these 2-for-1s that we've been making fun of everybody for, is that something that we take advantage of?
I think we need to make some money, and I don't think that matters anymore, and I think that's out the window now that Danny White's gone. We need to make some money. So if we need to go make some play games, you know, or some pay games, go. Get paid $1 million to go there. Get paid $2 million to go there. We need that money at this point.
I would like us to try our. I really would hate to give up. I do agree with Danny White's philosophy on the home and home thing.
I did, but I don't think I do now.
Just because he's gone?
Well, he's gone, and it didn't work out very well, right? Did it work out? Did we get any of them?
Well,
we got none.
I mean, you can't. We had some cancellations.
We
this
got
year. You
no
can't
1-on-1s with anyone, though. We got no home and homes with anyone. With Danny White's.
Louisville and Boise, right? Those are the two.
Okay, well.
And BYU.
Are those really the ones that we wanted, though? Or did we want bigger ones?
I mean, what did
that?
you want to do? You wanted to do a two at two at Miami or something, and then a Camping World Stadium.
No, I don't want to do that. I never
like,
wanted to do that, but now that the situation is money is a big deal. Money's a big deal right now after not having any.
I'm not sure we would make any more money playing that kind of deal with Miami.
The seven home games have been a big deal
money
wise for
games.
us.
They pay you to come there so they have the chance to beat you. They pay you. You guys don't know how this works?
No, I know how this works.
Yeah, but what are you giving up at the gate? I mean, we're making $3 million a game. You aren't going to make that on.
We didn't last year, so we have all that to make up, right? We didn't make anything close to that last year, so we have a lot to make up.
No program did.
Okay. Well, in my opinion, I don't think that his philosophy worked out too well, and I would say a lot of Night Nation would be with me on that. That it didn't work out very well at all. All right, we got to take a break. We will be right back on Knightline at night. It got a little heated there. We'll be talking a little bit more about this, I'm sure.
An auto accident can change your life forever. At Chad Barr Law, we are raising the bar on what to expect from your personal injury attorney. Hi, I'm Chad Barr, and I want you to know that our entire team is dedicated to providing you with the representation you deserve in your greatest time of need. If you or a loved one have been injured in an auto accident, call 407-599-9036 for a free consultation or visit chadbarlaw.com. At Chad Barr Law, our clients come to us in need and leave as family. Offices Altamont Springs.
Hey, this is Travis Dever, Kai's Real Estate, the Dever team, New Smyrna Beach. Your source for real estate and everything else, New Smyrna Beach. Proud sponsor of Knightline. Call me anytime at 386-690-1636. That's 386-690-1636. Let me show you my hometown, New Smyrna Beach, UCF's favorite beach. Go Knights and charge on.
Looking for more out of your Porsche? Look no further than Flat6Motorsports.com. They have the widest selection of aftermarket Porsche parts anywhere in the world. With over 85 product lines and in-depth expertise, Flat6Motorsports.com is your one-stop shop for any Porsche performance needs. Whether you're shopping for intakes, exhausts, suspension, or tuning, they have you covered. Flat6Motorsports.com is the premier Porsche aftermarket specialist. Check them out at Flat6Motorsports.com.
And now, back to Nightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, back on Nightline at Night, I'm Andrew Phegley, live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Bar Law, raising the bar on what to expect from your personal injury attorney. Give Chad a call, 407-599-9036 for a free consultation, or visit chadbarlaw.com. You can also call Travis Dever for all your new Smyrna Beach real estate needs. I'm Andrew Phegley. Again, like I said, I got Big Ben Stout here with me, Roger Knight Bengal Phipps on the line from Santa Rosa Beach. We're talking UCF stuff. Before we went to break, we got into this whole thing about I don't even know what were we talking about?
It was the 2-for-1.
Yeah, the 2-for-1 thing. Danny White leaving, Josh Heupel being a candidate at Tennessee, which I believe is complete smoke. And we were talking about all that stuff. So, you guys can call us 844-580-9326, 844-580-9326 to put in your opinion or your vote. Whether Josh Heupel's, not Josh Heupel's, but Danny White's system of trying to do 1-and-1s with schools instead of doing 2-for-1s or whatever, any other denomination of games, 1-and-0s and all that for scheduling. I'd like to know your opinions and what you think we should do now that Danny White is not at UCF anymore. So if anybody's out there that wants to call and give us their opinion, we're more than happy to take it.
Andrew from Oviedo.
Can't wait to talk to him.
Well, I mean, I hope. I mean, now that you said that, he's probably not going to call. So
way to go. We'll blame Roger. That's okay.
We'll blame Roger. Roger had to call him out. That's fine. Yeah. Okay.
Do you mind if I ask you guys this? I mean, I'd like to hear y'all's take on. We're going to talk, I'm sure, a lot in the rest of the show about his time here and some of the coaching hires that he's made that have benefited UCF for years since he's been here. But what do you think about looking forward? And I'm not going to ask you to necessarily speculate on who we would be looking at for AD to replace Danny White. But what do you think the time frame that we're looking at here as far as how long it's going to take us to find a new leader of the athletics program? Because it seems like it's a little bit of a crunch time right now where we gotta kind of move a little quick to make this hire.
Well, Brandon Helwig, I talked to him last night from UCF Sports on the podcast, and he seemed to think possibly the guy's already here. Our assistant AD.
Hire from within.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who has already knows everything that Danny White was doing because he was his right-hand man. And that could be a good thing because he would just keep everything rolling. He knows exactly what he was doing.
Knows the entire staff.
Knows the entire staff.
Right.
Knows the plans that were set before he left and all this other stuff. So, and I'll have to look up that guy's name because I can't remember.
And he is a gentleman.
Carr.
What's that?
Carr, Scott Carr, I think it would be the second in command there, and is the interim, I believe, athletic director.
Well, that would make a lot of sense. I mean, somebody who has learned a lot from, I'm sure, Danny White and other experiences that he's had, and as we said, he knows the entire administrative staff and the coaching staffs, I'm sure. And so that having that continuity and continuing what Danny White started here or built upon here it would certainly be a good thing. So hopefully that does come to pass.
The UCF Athletics website still has Danny White as the AD, so they need to update that. So I mean, Scott Carr would definitely be in there, I would think, as a candidate. He worked at Auburn, I believe, before he came to UCF. Graduated from U of F, so I don't really know a lot about him, to be honest with you. I know that he was his right hand guy, and you've got to think that Brian White down at FAU would be a candidate.
Right.
I mean, I think you'd be crazy if you didn't think that he was a candidate.
Yeah.
Just because of the White family history. It's all weird, too, with his dad, their dad, saying he was retiring.
Yeah, he retired recently, right?
Just
From
like
Duke.
last week, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
when that announcement came down, I was thinking to myself, man, wouldn't that be crazy if like Danny White went up there to Duke? That
or
would make
Brian
sense.
White, who knows?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Maybe they'll keep that in the family somehow.
I always thought one day Danny was going to leave us for Notre Dame. That's where he went to school, and I always thought that was kind of the destiny. And I thought it was going to be way down the line than it happening this year, but. This year's been a whirldwind.
You ask about
just
time
so
frame,
fast.
though. I kind of went off from the question. That's what I do.
That's okay.
Squawk.
It's our second segment. We're allowed to go on.
Exactly, yeah. So I would hope. I mean, I would hope that it's as soon as possible.
Yeah, it seems like we need some
I
continuity.
hope that they have some names in mind. I hope that the search committee, if there is one, has already gotten together for a few hours just to or Zoomed for a few hours, I guess, in these days, and talked about it. And maybe there's some offers that are out there, or some interviews that are out there, or something. I would hope. It's been, what has it been, like a week almost, right? I don't even know what day
I think
it was.
it came down last
Was
Thursday?
it Wednesday or Thursday?
Yeah.
So anyway, I feel like it should happen fairly soon.
We do know that they hired a national search committee, so I know that that's in the mix.
All right, got to take another break. We'll be right back on Knightline at Night. Night Nation, I need to talk to you about something very near and dear to my heart. It's Tijuana Flat's new fajita tacos, available for a limited time. Grilled chicken or steak with fajita peppers and onions, garlic lime sauce, and guajillo chili salsa, topped with cheddar jack cheese, crisp iceberg lettuce, and fresh pico on warm flour tortillas served with chips and salsa. We're talking good vibes and even better flavors from a whole nother plane of deliciousness. Available for a limited time either in-store through their app and website for delivery or pickup. These aren't just fajitas. They're something better. True enlightenment. Fajita tacos. Available for a limited time only at your neighborhood Tijuana Flats. Hey Jeep Wrangler owners, have you ever sat in your office at work and watched the rain just pour into your Jeep because the weatherman said that there was a 0 chance of rain? Or you put your doors back on because there was a 100% chance and then not a drop of rain fell? Well, there's a company out there that can help take the worry away and give you the peace of mind to be without your doors. The company's called Life Without Doors. They make waterproof rain curtains and dash covers for Wranglers. Life Without Doors is there to help make the decision to leave the doors at home an easy one. Find out more at lifewithoutdoors.com.
Spice up your company with homemade marketing services from Tasty Gravy Creative. Tasty Gravy serves up a menu of budget-friendly marketing, graphic design, and public relations services customized to your specific goals. Co-owned by a UCF graduate, Tasty Gravy can help refresh your brand, strengthen your online presence, or reinforce your company's message. Contact Tasty Gravy for help with your website, social media, marketing, advertising materials, and more. Visit tastygravy.com.
And now, back to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, back on Knightline at Night. I am Andrew Phegley. We're live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Barlaw. Got Big Ben Stout here. Got Roger Phipps, Night Bengal from the Santa Rosa Beach Studios, and we're taking your calls, 844-580-WDBO, 844-580-9326. We're talking UCF sports and anything else UCF at this point. So, and a lot of Tennessee stuff tonight, unfortunately. Talking about Danny White being the new AD at Tennessee, University of Tennessee, or Tennessee University, whichever it is. I'm not sure, really. But and
it
then,
doesn't matter.
Then the news coming
Rocky
out,
Top.
and I don't believe that this is actually news, but Josh Heupel supposedly is emerging as the top candidate to be Danny White's football coach up there in Tennessee, and I don't believe it for a second. Anyway.
Well, that may not necessarily be a good thing for him, considering Danny White didn't get his first choice a couple of times when he's gone down this path.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so we got to talk some basketball, too, because we got basketball coming up. There was a basketball game last week and Saturday.
Yeah, I'm Saturday.
That they didn't do really great. Our basketball team has kind of fallen apart lately. Hopefully they will get their stuff together again and do some winning. Here's what Johnny Dawkins had to say on the defense the other night against SMU.
Defensively, we can't give up 78 points. We got to be a lot better defensively. That's what we've always hung our hat on. In the last few games, we've given up, I want to say 75 and 78 or somewhere around there. That's just too many points for us to be giving up. So it starts on the defensive end. That's how you turn it around. You got to get stops, and I think everything will flow from there offensively.
All right. So, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, we really had a great defensive, I think, some great defensive intensity in the first half against SMU. We were containing Kendrick Davis, their great point guard that they have in SMU, pretty well, and we were flowing pretty well on offense as well. But I think that the intensity that we were showing in the first half on defense was excellent, and also we were crashing the board, something we've talked about a lot. We weren't, some games we weren't getting rebounds the way we should or could. And in the first half especially, we were all over the offensive glass. C.J. Walker had a couple great putbacks. And we held him to 32 points in the first half. But then, as Dawkins said, it just kind of we let them go on a couple runs in the second half and gave up 46 points in the second half, and it just kind of fell apart for us.
Well, the two players that played really well, more than two, but the two that I'm going to mention right here, Darius Perry and Brandon Mahan played both pretty well.
Yeah.
Darius Perry a little bit better. Here's what Johnny Dawkins had to say about him.
I thought he gave us a big lift when he came in the first half. I thought in the second half, he hadn't played in a while. I thought he was, a little quiet, a little more quiet offensively. But that's due to the fact I think he hadn't been out there a lot this, last couple of weeks. I think the more he gets, his legs back under him and playing, he'll even be more consistent in both halves for us. But I thought he did a good job.
Yeah, Darius Perry brought a lot of energy, as Dawkins said in the first half, but he's really seems to be picking up his comfort level, especially on the offensive end. He seems to be finding his teammates a lot better. He led our team in not only points at 14, but he had 7 assists as well, and he led our team with 5 rebounds. So all 3 of those major stat categories he led. So it was good to see him not only get going with some offense, but as far as scoring the basket, but his assists he was finding his teammates for some really good plays.
Yeah, and Brandon Mahan showed up again for the first time. Really hasn't been doing much. He started out the season as the league's top scorer, and then all of a sudden kind of fell off. Mm-hmm. We don't know what that was about, but he came back a little bit in this game, scored 13 points. Here's what Johnny Dawkins had to say about him.
He has a lot more in him. The young man has a lot of talent, and like I've said, I think a few times, it's just a function of him just learning to embrace this role and understanding this is who you are. You're a scorer, and we need you to be out there being aggressive, for every minute you're in the game. And not aggressive to always shoot it, but just to make plays for himself and others. I think that just makes us better. You look at the games where he's had success, he's been very aggressive, and I think that's led to our team playing with a lot more confidence as well.
Yeah, and most of that 13 points for Brandon Mahan came in the second half, which hopefully bodes well for his demeanor and his swagger that he seemed to kind of get back in that second half. Some things started to click there, and we saw some flashes of what we saw earlier this season with Brandon Mahan. And so hopefully that he can carry that through to ECU on Wednesday and continue the rest of the season at a much better clip.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites, I think. He's an exciting player to watch, so I hope that he comes back. And, he can lead this team. He kind of did it in the beginning. Somebody needs to lead the team.
For sure.
I think that would help a lot. We're going to talk a little bit more about basketball in just a bit, but we have another thing that we need to talk about here real quick. We're going to talk about a new sponsor that we have. Tijuana Flats joined Knightline to sponsor a segment for us, and we're very happy to have Tijuana Flats on with us. The big deal. I've been working on it for a while. Finally got the deal done. And we have a segment that we do on Knightline that we're going to do on this show as well. And it's the Tijuana Flats Hot Take of the Week. And here's a little intro for that. And then Roger will take it from there. Welcome to the Tijuana Flats Hot Take of the Week. Visit TijuanaFlats.com for takeout or delivery, or visit your local Tijuana Flats. Tex-Mex for everyone.
I love that intro, so thank you for putting that together, Andrew. And I love Tijuana Flats. I've been a customer of theirs for a long time, so I'm super excited about this. And with that being said, let's talk about the Tijuana Flats Hot Take of the Week. And this week, my hot take is Coach Abe is Danny White's best hire. Now, I'm not saying not the most impactful, but the best hire. And when you think about this, you have to think about where our basketball team was for a long
Women's
time.
basketball team.
Yes, our women's basketball team was floundering for years under the previous leadership. Coach Abe comes in. She's brought an exciting brand of basketball. We're constantly in contention for the American Championship. With UConn leaving, that opens the door even further. They're defensively, they're fun to watch. The style of play is great, and she's bringing in some quality recruits. So, she's had a lot of success. You watch her, how she interacts with her team. She's dancing. She's doing all those things, and it's one of the quickest turnarounds. And I think it's even a little bit quicker than what the success that Frost had with the football team. The trajectory is up, and I'm just really excited about Coach Abe and what she's doing for UCF.
So I'm going to agree with that in the sense that this season especially, she's just showing how we can kind of take her team and program to the next level. I mean, us being 8-2 this year, you mentioned how good we are defensively. We're giving up less than 50 points a game as a team. The UCF Knights women's basketball team is just on fire right now, and they're really clicking on all cylinders. And obviously, with a couple years ago going to the NCAA tournament and doing well there, and now that, as you mentioned, now that UConn is not in the American, so that we kind of it's been a race for second. Prior, I think this year is the year to kind of step up, take advantage of that, and really establish ourselves as a top in the conference. Obviously, there's been a lot of great hires that Danny White has had. I would argue that there's potential in our softball side with Sydney Ball Malone, that some of the things that were showing before it got shut down last year.
And baseball.
Yeah, and baseball with
Lovelady.
Greg Lovelady.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen some great flashes with those two sports, and so they could come out this year once that season gets going and really make some noise. But it's hard to argue with Coach Abe.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So that was the Tijuana Flats Hot Take of the Week. Thank you, Tijuana Flats. Thank you, Roger. So that's so we're good with that. Going back to basketball now. We have a basketball game tomorrow night, 7:00 against ECU. We have beaten ECU 9 times the last 9 games. So hopefully we can get back on the winning track on this one and pull this one out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when it comes to facing ECU for the last 3 years, it's been all about can you contain their superstar forward in Jaden Gardner. I mean, the guy's a beast. He's about 6'7" or so. So that doesn't seem like a super tall, but he's always been a really big body presence, a double machine on the inside. And so he's a guy that we need to be able to contain. He's averaging about 16 and 8 right now. And so that's the guy. He's been kind of a one-man show there at ECU. So if we can contain him, play some good defense, and help that turn into offense, and kind of see the progression continued of Darius Perry and the bouncing back of Brandon Mahan, I think we got this one.
All righty. So that is Wednesday night, tomorrow night on, I don't know, what is it?
It's an ESPN Plus game, yep.
Yeah, 7:00. Knights look to get back on track with that. So that will be cool. I think that they need to come out and show that they can get themselves back on track, even if it's a team they've beaten 9 times in a row. They need to go out there and just assert themselves and play the game the way it's meant to be played.
They really need to, not only to get better, get off to a better start and get into a better flow of the game, but get that confidence back, because we do have a tough opponent in Wichita State coming out this weekend, and so it's one that we have to get back in the win column and get things
and
back on
some more
track.
Games were announced today, actually, that were repositioned, we'll say, rescheduled. Maybe, I don't know if you have those, Ben, you can tell us about, or
I know
possibly I can find the.
I know that the Tulane and the Tulsa game got rescheduled, but I can look that up.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the
break.
next segment.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I kind of just threw that on you.
No worries.
I've got it here someplace as well. I'm always trying to look stuff up while we're doing this show. It just kind of happens like that. Okay, I got a little bit of it here. Tulsa, Saturday, February 6th at Tulsa, which was originally a home game against Tulsa. Now will be a game at Tulsa, Saturday, February 6th. That's this coming Saturday. No, next Saturday.
That's next Saturday, yeah.
And then the Knights will now host Tulsa on March 2nd to make up for the postponed game. And then they will host Tulane February 12th to make up for the original scheduled game on December 30th. So lots of basketball coming up.
Yeah, there's some shuffling
there's
of the
still
deck.
a lot of basketball left to be played, so hopefully they can get it together and be the team that we think that they could be.
Yeah.
I really was really excited after the first couple of wins against Auburn and Florida State. That was going to be good. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be right back on Knightline at Night, and who knows what we'll talk about next. We've still got some basketball. We got Danny White. We got all kinds of stuff, so we'll be right back.
I'm Jeff Allen. Join me each and every week on the Knightline Sports Network for the AAC Report. We bring you in-depth coverage of each school in football, basketball, baseball, softball, soccer, golf, tennis, and more, as well as bring you insider interviews and focus in on the biggest games and news of the week. That's all right here each week on the AAC Report, only on the Knightline Sports Network.
Welcome. This is a promo for the Take a Left at Albuquerque podcast, new to the Knightline Sports Network. You should listen to it. I say things like this.
We need to stop blaming Jerry, because we would do the exact same thing if we owned the Dallas freaking Cowboys. Do you know how much fun it is to own the Dallas Cowboys?
My guests will say things sometimes like this.
It's the Lord of the Flies thing that happens when they don't understand that things are wrong. Spoiler alert, until Piggy dies.
Lord of the Flies has been out for like 100 years. I don't even know.
Yeah. Sorry to everyone at home who I spoiled the book for. A book's been out for like 90 years or something.
And sometimes, rarely though, I'll say really stupid things like this. If they don't make it out of the West and the Raptors get to the finals, I will go on either this show or whoever's show and say that Kawhi Leonard is overrated. Because I have too much evidence of it. New episodes drop every Friday with me and some of my good friends right here on the Knightline Sports Network.
And now, back to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, back on Knightline at Night. I am Andrew Phegley. Got Big Ben Stout here with me. Roger Knight Bengal Phipps. We're brought to you by Chad Law, raising the bar on what to expect from your personal injury attorney. Give Chad a call, 407-599-9036 for a free consultation, or visit chadbarlaw.com. All right. I'm trying to do that like those guys that talk really fast on the radio, but I can't talk that fast, I guess. I think they I think they speed them up for some reason. I think that's a technical thing. I'll have to make a recording and speed it up. Anyway, I would never do that to Chad. Chad is awesome, by the way. Okay, what were we going to talk about in this last segment? I can't remember.
This is a free for all.
Oh
segment
yeah,
here.
I know what we were going to talk about. How could I forget? The Super Bowl, because Chase, our wonderful producer that we love, by the way, and I haven't mentioned him yet tonight.
Do you?
I do. Yes, absolutely.
I do.
It's always at the end of the show.
I know you do, Ben, but every show it's always, I'll get you in the always going to get you in the first segment right here, and then all of a sudden first segment airs he's not going to do it.
He's not going to mention me.
No,
Well, I get kind of enthralled in my own head, and I just anyway. Ben and Chad. Chad.
Good
see?
Lord.
I'm even calling you the wrong name. That's just because you're a Bucks fan. You guys are Bucks. Chase,
Thank
Ben
you.
and Chase,
Roger and Chad.
Roger and Chad are Bengals fans, but
There you go.
But
Ben and Chase are Bucks fans,
Yes,
and I am a long time Chiefs fan. Since I could even knew what football was, I was a Chiefs fan. So, Bucks and the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl, obviously.
right.
Mm-hmm. Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. I'll remind you, the second year in a row.
Yeah.
We
the
we
first
won
team to-
last year.
Do
by
I
the
need to
way.
remind you that my quarterback's been in the Super Bowl 10 times?
This is 10th Super Bowl.
But
Yeah. He's also
that means
80,
he's
but
getting
he's
kind of
10.
old.
I mean,
Yeah, you wouldn't notice it.
I
By
know
the,
you wouldn't
the
notice it
amount
as
of,
much.
did you see that George Blanda graphic that they showed? Like, they're both 43, and Tom Brady looked like he was in his 30s. George Blanda looked like he wanted to die.
Time has been good to TB12.
Well,
that's for sure.
we're gonna have some fun with this next week.
Yeah.
I'm sure, because it's a big game to everybody. And I know there's a lot of Bucks fans in Orlando, and I'm not trying to rain on your parade too much, but I
Sounds
think
like you
my
are.
Chiefs are probably going to pull this out. It's time for the new blood of Patrick Mahomes to be the NFL GOAT, and it's just time. I think he will be the GOAT one of these days.
Oh, he's got a long way to go, but I mean,
the baby
just
goat.
the amount
He's still,
of accolades
I mean,
he's got to have.
Yes, and he's broke a lot of records from those guys in the time that he has been the quarterback of the Chiefs. So we will give score predictions and all that stuff next week.
Sounds good.
We're not going to get into that now, but there will be some trash talking for sure. There already has been behind the scenes.
Yes.
It's been kind of ugly tonight.
Clearly, it's already
with that.
started on the show. You forgot my name twice.
Fisticuffs. Fisticuffs.
So yeah, there's some behind the scenes stuff going on. But besides that, I have to mention UCF lost a very important person, Gene McDowell, today. And we probably should have talked about this at the beginning of the show, but we didn't. UCF's most winningest coach basically put the program on the map before George O'Leary was here.
For sure.
And he passed away today at the age of 80. And we want to wish him to rest in peace. And thank you for what you did for UCF for sure. So I guess we'll probably end it with something like that. It's not quite time yet, and I did that a little bit quickly.
He single-handedly saved the UCF football program. That's how important he was.
Absolutely. You guys know more about him than I do because I came into this fairly late. But
Yeah, he's kind of the godfather of the UCF football program. Kind of came on in the mid 80s and left in 1997. Throughout that time, we went from to being a Division II team, 1AA, and then his last season a Division I team. So
Yeah.
rest in peace, G. McDowell.
absolutely, huge contribution to UCF. All right, that does it for Knightline at Night. We will see you next week. Go Knights.